Now it's time to go back into the hive that we did a Formic Pro treatment on. We're going to see how much it knocked the actual mite count down. Had a mite count of 15 mites per 300 bees. Today we're going to drop back in there. Now we're a little bit early. Let me warn you, I should be waiting about 2 weeks after today because I feel that some of the mites that may have been killed by Formic Pro, they kind of stick to bees like Velcro because of their hairs. And I could be washing off dead mites. So it's a little early to do my test. I will be coming back in 2 weeks to really thoroughly do a very valid comparison. But you know, I want to get in there real quick just to see. So I'm pulling the pads off today. I'm gonna spot check 300 bees, see how it looks. Let's jump in there and see how. Oh, and we also want to check out, number one, did Formic Pro kill our queen? And if it did, I'm going to make Tom Nolan buy me a new one. And I'm going to check to see if it damaged any of my brood or larvae. Are there any eggs? So that's a complaint I hear sometimes about Formic Pro, is that it halts egg laying and kills the queen or something. So we'll check all that out. Jump in there and see. Now here's something I've started doing recently. Taking one of my Burns feeder boards, putting it on my stand here. And the stand has a higher lip here than over here, which allows a gap so I have ventilation. So I can, while I'm doing my inspection to prevent robbing, I can take my super or a deep off, put it right on top of this Burns feeder temporarily, just while I inspect the one below it, put a top cover on it, and that way no robber bees can gain access to it, but these holes provide ventilation. Kind of a neat idea. Now it's time to get in there, take the Formic Pro pads off, and do a mite test, see how well it is controlling our mite count. It's time to get back in there. Jumping spider. Okay, let's take our super off. Got a little weight to it. Wow, it's heavy. That's a good super right here to overwinter with because it is packed full and heavy. Okay, we got our deep next. Let's do a little inspection while we got it open really quick. Now this we need to lay some burlap on. Now on the super we can put our top cover on, but I like burlap because it allows a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of ventilation, so we don't get them too hot out there. What we're looking for in this top deep is making sure we got good eggs after our treatment. Oh gosh, lots of good eggs, a lot of good larvae. So there was no damage done to either the queen or the brood because we got good egg laying there. Very good. Now it would be good to see the queen after a treatment of Formic Pro. I know some people are always a little concerned that maybe it had a negative effect on the queen, but sometimes the brood. So if we see the queen, it'll just be bonus for us. Don't have to see her because we just saw eggs. Means she was there a day or two ago, or today. A little bit of paper from the Formic Pro down there. Oh, okay, let me show you that. There's our queen. Do you see her with the red dot right there? I'll just show her to you out here. Right up here with the red dot. So the queen's doing good walking around laying. Now, since we're doing a mite test, we'll hold this frame outside the hive for a minute. And that way we don't kill our queen. Excellent. So we found our queen. We see good brood. And so now we want to do a mite test. So we're going to grab a frame and I'm going to show you how I collect 300 bees in my cup. We'll do that before we pull out the pads. Let's see if this would be a good frame here. Oh yeah, this has a lot of larvae on it. So this would be our frame to do our mite test on. So let's just park it right here for a second while we get our Ceracell mite tester kit ready. All right, so I've got my alcohol wash ready here. And so we're gonna have to really be careful not to spill any. I'm gonna do that a little different than I did last time. I think I'll put my top cover right here. Do our mite test up here in case we do spill some. But I'm going to show you guys how, if you didn't see my last video, how easy it is for me. I hate standing in front of the hive, but for camera purposes, I'm going to. So I like just dragging my cup backwards, but I'm going to go ahead and open up my Ceracell mite tester kit. I've already got the alcohol in there. We're going to go ahead and put that there. I would never recommend you do that. It's too risky to spilling that, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do it. Just going to be careful not to splash it as much as I did last time. All right, so what we're going to do is rake this backward, and you'll see this cup will fill up with bees. All right, good. Didn't splash that time. Learned my lesson the first time. Okay, so that worked out really well. Now what we're going to do, we're going to let that just kind of soak while we take the Formic Pro strips off and put the hive back together again. Yeah, I want you guys to see my queen. So many of you I know some of you fear using Formic Pro, afraid it'll kill your queen, but look at that. There's my queen right there. And I have so many eggs and young larvae. So let's put the queen back in the hive. Here's a good tip for you when you're putting your queen back in. Watch her with your eyes all the way down. Make sure she doesn't get near any wood, the edges of the frame, or smash her between frames. Be real careful like that. Okay, let's get some smoke on everybody. Now very quickly, we're going to take this deep off, set it aside on the top cover just for a second. Time enough for us to get the Formic Pro pads off. Then we'll see what our mite number is. All right, we got our pads here. Big part of them are, I wouldn't say gone, but not much left. Still wanting to stay downwind. They're pretty hard and crisp. We'll dispose of them later properly. Let's put that deep back on. Close the hive up quick as we can. Let's move these frames tighter now. The bees off of the ears there. We took out the second frame. We're going to put it right back where we got it. And super. Put our super back on. It's undetected by any robbers or anybody. Can't believe how heavy this is. Top cover. We're done. Okay, we've been shaking this for a little bit here, so get a good shake on it, see what kind of mite count we have. Again, I like to wait a little bit longer than I have on this one because some of these could still just be dead mites. Nothing on the lid. So I like to wait about 2 weeks after I pull the pads off. That way I can get a better mite count. Okay, so before treatment we had 15 out of 300. And on this after treatment, again, we're a little early. We probably needed to wait a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9. So we knocked it down to 3%. 9 of 300 is 3%. And we were at 5%. So we did knock it down with that first treatment. So we'll debate whether to treat again. What I'll do is I'll wait another about 2 weeks, and then I'll sample it again and see where they're at. Decide if I have time to do another treatment. Wow, that was a lot of fun. We worked pretty snappy through there. Got a lot done in just a few minutes. But what we saw was the queen was very healthy, and we did a mite count, and it's, again, a little bit early. Some of those could have been dead mites that got washed off, so we need to wait another 2 weeks. But right now, it took it from 5% down to 3%. Now, I was hoping for a lot less, but in fairness, when I did treat it, my temperatures kind of dipped down at night below 50. So it probably didn't circulate as much of the Formic Pro around in the hive. I don't know, but the temperature was a little bit down to 44 one night during those first 5 days. I didn't like that. But anyway, it did work. I did have a pretty significant reduction I mean, 5 less mites on a count. So we're going to wait 2 weeks, like we should, and do another mite count, and that'll tell us for sure what our mite count is at that point. So we have reduced them. Any reduction is awesome. Very happy that the queen was alive, and very happy that I saw a lot of eggs, a lot of larvae. So the hive is doing real good at raising brood. Happy about that. Now, if you want to see the first video where we did our first mite test and show you how to kind of navigate an inspection in October or in the fall, here's a video where we did our first mite count and our treatment. Check it out over here. I'll see you guys over there.